Hello there, my name is Tom Grange and today I am going to be showing you my game. Now in this video I am going to be showing off the models and the textures that I've created over the past couple of weeks, and also how I've improved on my blueprinting. Because I want the player to be fully immersed in my game, I have added in some sound effects and some music to go alongside the gameplay. This next part is a showcase of all the models and the textures that I have created for this game. One thing I have improved on a lot since the last submission was I have added in more models and more textures. So here's an example of how I have improved. This here is one of the crushers that I created in 3ds Max, and the textures were very basic, but now I have added in some more detailed textures. I've also added in bump maps and a specular map just to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. As you can see from the models and the textures, I have gone with a very cartoony feel to what the models and the textures will look like. The reason why I made my game so difficult was so that way I wanted players to be really challenged during this game, because I've seen a lot of horror games in which the player isn't really that challenged, and I wanted my game to be different. So the next part of this video is the maze. Now the maze is where the player will go into the corner, hit the button, and a maze will pop up from the ground, and the player has to move around the maze trying to figure out where the key is. Once the player has collected the key, the next room will open. For this final part of the game, the player will step outside of the dungeon and will now be outside. Now for this outside part, I've added in two things. One is that I have added in these huts, which have been made in 3ds Max and have been textured in Photoshop using Bump Maps and Specular apps. I've also added in some AI. The first time the player will see the AI is over in the distance, and this is just a simple move to location blueprint. The player will see the hut where the key is being held and will click the key, opening the cinematic and opening the final door to where the treasure is. The final part of the game is where the player must run away from the AI. Now these AI are a bit more complicated than the first AI that the player encounters, because these ones will follow the player and try to kill them. At this point the player will have to run back to the castle in order for the goblins or the AI to stop following them. So the player has finally unlocked all the gates, all the doors and all the pillars that are on the main gate, and the player has won the treasure, and that is the end of the game. Since the last submission I have worked a lot more on my blueprints and trying to improve it. For example, I have added in some more cinematics, some basic matinee openings, destroying actors and that, but I've also added in some AI in which some of them are a simple move to location, and then some of them are more complicated, follow the actor and kill them. So yes, that is all of the models, all of the textures, all of the blueprints, and this is my entire game that I've created over the past few months. I've really enjoyed making it, and thank you for watching.